All right, so today's lesson is going to be a continuation from last time as we explore the three different financial terms that we discussed: saving, investing, and trading. Now we're going to look at a little bit about what makes those things possible. What makes it possible for us to build a secure future using both saving and investing? Maybe not so much with trading, but certainly we kind of want to see the behind the scenes part of our saving and investing. So what I want you to do first is I want you to take a look at the first two statements on the screen. Those represent our learning targets or our objectives for class today. Now, the goal would be is that by the end of class, everybody can explain and can calculate with confidence all of those. Right now, you might be sitting here and you might not be at yes, you might be at sort of, or you might be at no. The best part is that it doesn't really matter where you are at right now, but at least take a moment and pause and think about, can you explain why a dollar is worth more than a dollar in the future? And can you calculate simple and compound interest? I'll pause the video for a second and read over those statements and think about where you're at. All right, we're going to start here with a quick fill in the blank. I have a statement for you. It says money available at the blank is worth blank than the identical sum in the blank due to its potential blank. And take a moment and think about what is going to make sense to try and fill that in. So the statement goes that money available at the present or right now is worth more than the identical sum in the future due to its potential earning capacity. Now, let's take a little closer look at what we mean by this statement. Money available at the present is worth more than the identical sum in the future due to its potential earning capacity. There's two primary reasons why that is true. One, inflation erodes purchasing power. And from last time, we saw the effects that inflation can have on savers. Savers are earning an interest rate well below the rate of inflation currently. And so while they might not be losing a dollar amount, they are in fact losing purchasing power because of an increase in price. And prices are increasing at a higher rate than they are being rewarded for in their savings accounts. The second reason, and this will be the focus of the lesson today, is that someone will pay you for the right to use your money for some amount of time. And that payment is called interest. Interest is the behind the scenes, is the machine or the kind of the mechanism that makes all of our financial dreams and goals go. Without interest, we're not able to achieve those goals. Interest can also work on the other side, where if I am a debtor or if I owe somebody money, that interest can be debilitating to not only reaching my financial goals, but to the amount of money that I might eventually owe to that bank or to that financial institution. So to review from last time, we talked about if you expect the price of an item to increase, your money is worth more today than it would be in the future. So if we're sitting here today and a pair of shoes cost $150, my $150 is worth more today because I might expect the price of those shoes in the future to increase to $175. Now, that's an extreme example. We probably wouldn't see that much of an increase in a short period of time. But the idea here is that inflation represents that general increase in the price of goods. So I can actually buy less with my $150 if we do, in fact, see that general increase in the price of goods and services. Now, on the other side of it, let's say your favorite company was looking to expand their business and build a new factory, estimated cost of around $100 million. And they come to you to borrow money. And they're willing to pay you 5% of $1,000 every year for 30 years. When someone is willing to pay you for the right to use your money for some amount of time, again, that payment is called interest. And that's what banks do. Those of you that had savings accounts, or those of you that have money in a lending institution or a financial institution, whether it's a savings account or a certificate of deposit, you are basically giving them the right to use your money, but to be compensated in the form of interest. Now, there's two types of interest. The first one is simple interest, and it's not called simple interest because it's a trick or anything. It's simple. I know every single month or every single year, however often the period is, how much interest I'm going to earn on my original principal. This is the formula that you've probably seen in your math classes, sometimes known as the PERT formula, where I take my principal, I multiply it by the rate, and I multiply it by time. There is no factor into how much interest I'm earning every single period and how much interest I earned in the previous period. The interest amounts are fixed every single month. Bonds as an investment are going to use simple interest, which we'll discuss a little bit later. Now, the good news is that your banks that you have your savings accounts at do not use simple interest. They use what is called compound interest. And as you can see, we're really talking mathematically about the difference between linear growth and exponential growth. Where in compound interest, I see not only my principal earning interest, but the interest that I have earned on that principal also earning interest. And that is what kind of gets the pump going and gets you to that exponential growth, where you can really start to see those investments grow at a rapid pace over a long period of time. Again, the difference then is that I have to calculate those previous periods' interest earned. So in this example, if I earn $50 on my original principal in 1 year, the next year, not only am I going to earn another $50 on my principal, but the $50 in interest that I earned from the previous year is also going to earn me $25. And that continues on and on and on. And it just keeps going and going. And you can, again, start to see the beginning of the exponential growth. Okay. All right. So you're going to do two things after you're done watching this. One, there's a video on Google Classroom titled Exponential Growth, How Folding a Piece of Paper Can Get You to the Moon. And then second, there's an assignment on there posted called Interest Calculations. Go ahead and work through the first 2 pages. And then once everybody is done, or once time is called, we're going to come back together and we'll go over these and see what we can take away from this information.